Kahyun, good to see you. Welcome to Popternative.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm really excited to chat with you. I mean, congratulations on St. Denis Medical. The show is so funny. I love it. I kind of want to know because it all starts with kind of like, you get this opportunity to audition and everything. What is that like? Like, do you know it's a medical comedy? Like, what do you know about it? Because sometimes they tell you a lot and sometimes they don't tell you anything.
Yeah. I knew I had the script, I had the side, so I read it, obviously loved it. I did my initial audition on tape and then kind of forgot about it. I'm a very good let go until it comes back, So I sent the tape and went to Korea.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a crazy time because I actually had an offer for a movie. And also I had an offer to test for a different NBC comedy pilot. And so there was like a lot of things happening while I was in Korea. And my poor dad, who knows nothing about this industry, was just confused on all the emails that were coming in. But yeah, and then I basically did it on Zoom. Like I had a call back on Zoom, had a work session, and then I booked the role.
It's crazy how much kind of goes in before you actually get on set. I feel like some people don't realize, like, does it feel like two journeys or one journey? Like, because like you can look at it as two journeys, right? Before filming something and after filming something. Does it feel like two separate journeys or does it feel like one big journey?
I mean, it felt separated because I was in Korea.
Okay, yeah.
It felt very like a different experience because I kind of felt like in Korea, I don't do acting isn't like, I don't really act it in Korea. So I was kind of there for family and, hanging out with my parents. So I felt very not industry word during that time, during the 2 weeks I was there. But I was there to pretty much meet with a lot of production companies because Cocaine Bear was coming out.
Yes. Oh, so good.
Thank you.
So good. I'll always remember that scene. Such a good scene.
Thank you. Listen, not just because I'm on it. I think it's a pretty great scene.
Oh, it's an amazing scene. It's interesting too, right? Because you book the role, boom, medical comedy and everything. And there's going to be a lot, right? There's the aspect that you're playing someone that's like, that works at a hospital. So there's that. But then there's also kind of like the cameras, right? The looking at the cameras, like all that and everything. Some like our favorite kind of shows we grew up watching. So what was that like preparation wise? 'Cause I feel like there's a lot of different preparation, right? Like there's research for the role, but then there's like, what was it like being part of like a sitcom and preparing for that? I'm just curious about that. Was it different kind of like waves of preparation? Like I'm curious about that.
I mean, listen, I did practice a lot of ways of humping. That was and I'm not joking. I wish I was. I tried to come up with various ways of humping a desk to see which one landed. And the most basic level one landed, and I'm okay with that. But there were a lot of leg lifting, a lot of turning around, bending, that was involved. So that was that.
But I did not have that on my bingo card, by the way. Like it makes sense like that. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, right. But also my mom works at a hospital in Korea. So I kind of grew up around hospital, like going there visiting. And I did a lot of I did volunteering when I was young. Like, so I kind of actually like not that long ago, I kind of thought about that. I one of my first volunteering like jobs I had when I was in middle school was with at a nurse station. And I mean, all I did was really like, kind of put papers together and, very simple tasks. But so I was kind of used to the environment. So it wasn't that much big of a stretch, but yeah.
Your character too just tells it like it is, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's me. Look at me. Yeah, it's truly just who I am in real life.
No, it's so funny, just some of the lines and everything. I love how the show doesn't also waste time in regards to, it's very difficult. I think it's a credit to the writers of this too. It's like, after episode 1, I feel like I've seen all these characters before, like many times. You know what I mean by that? Like, I love that. Like, I feel like I know your character after one episode.
Oh, that means a lot. That's a huge compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. there's always going to be, whether you've been on a set one time or 100 times, learning experiences, right? That you'll take for other projects. You know, you mentioned, you know, the humping, but like at the end of the day, like was there any specific kind of learning experiences from an acting storyteller perspective you'll be able to take from Saint Denis Medical to other projects?
Other than the humping?
Yeah,
Just
I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Which was my biggest, obviously, learning point that I'll take to other projects. Yes.
Yes.
Well, you know, actually, like working with somebody like you know, all our cast is amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's like watching Wendi and Allison and David and like all my cast, I learned so much because they are such generous performers. And it makes me want to be a generous performer for other people.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think the really biggest thing I've learned is to be kind.
Yeah.
I think everybody on our set is very, very kind. Like the crew, they've worked together on, like they already know each other because they've done different projects together. And the cast obviously are very kind. So, and I think that shows, and I think that really helps us build trust in each other and helps us have a good time, which makes it funnier.
For sure.
So that is one of probably the biggest things I've learned.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, because I wanted to ask, like, it's a scripted series, but like, were there ever like any improv moments? Because it's some of the jokes, the back and forth just seem kind of so natural and quick, and I feel like talking a lot. Well, is like, I know it's scripted, but it's so funny because I'll remember I talked to some actors and writers where, you know, it's funny because the things that you think are improv are actually scripted, right? Mm-hmm. Like in a lot of ways. But what's that script to screen journey like for you? Like, what's it like reading it and actually seeing it come to life on screen? Is there any improv involved with anything?
I mean, for sure. I mean, the writers are amazing. Yeah. They give us such a good script that personally, I don't ever feel like I have the need to really like improving mostly comes at like the end of the scene. Like if we want to put a button here or you know, and like kind of, you know, banter a little bit. Like I think that's most of where the improv goes. Mm-hmm. But even without the improv, it's already so well written. Yeah. It's already so funny. Like every time I get a script and read it before our table read, I truly laugh out loud.
Mm-hmm. It's so fun. It's crazy. Is it starting to sink in that people get to watch the show? Because I feel like that's always the weirdest kind of surreal feeling, right? Like you did a press junket recently with the cast, and it's like, you know, at some point you're told like, hey, it's going to air, right? And then all these things, like, is it starting to kind of, what's it been like now that episodes are starting to roll out?
It's been so exciting, and the response has been so great. It almost feels like it feels like a dream. Mm-hmm. It really does, because you also like spend so much time working on it, and you know we've seen like a couple of episodes, but we still haven't seen a lot of the episodes.
No.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
But I feel like there's been so much in the first like 2-3 episodes if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean that's right. That's true. So I'm just so excited to share it with the world and also to see it myself. You know?
No, absolutely. So great chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh my God, of course. Thanks for having me.
Your Instagram account is where people keep up to date with everything, right? Is it just your name?
It's Kahyun Kim 257.
Awesome. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, it's Kahyun and PD Beats.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.